So analysis of this whole chapter, there are a few things, a few key quotes that I think are quite interesting. I mean, the overall idea of the chapter really is that this idea of the beast is increasingly filling the boys with fear. And Jack sees it as an opportunity, well, Jack and his hunters, to manipulate that fear to their own advantage. So he kind of says, the beast might exist when he really knows it doesn't, because he knows that's a way of manipulating the group and then being able to sort of tell them, look, you do what I say because I'll keep you safe. So it's all about control, fear and control. And in that way, the beast actually becomes one of Jack's primary sources of power. But at the same time, Jack effectively enables the boys themselves to act as the beast, to express that instinct for savagery that civilization has previously held in check. Because that instinct is natural and present within each human being, the writer Golding is asserting we are all capable of becoming the beast. So this whole microcosm on the island is almost like Golding is using it as a reflection of what the real world is like. And that's the big thing for the exam, is to get your head around that the book is not just a random story. It's all a way of Golding getting his ideas and themes across. And he has some ideas and themes that we see throughout the book about, the misuse of power, about the innate evil of mankind, about the fact that it's only civilization and rules that stop us from becoming animalistic and evil. But also at times we see little glimpses of other things that I think are quite useful and interesting as well. And it's still relevant today, of course. This moment where Piggy says, maybe it's only us, he's essentially saying, that, no, not Piggy, was it? It was Simon. He's essentially saying that, the beast could be us. There's the only evil is mankind. And that's something we see throughout the book that makes sense, isn't it? Because this perfect, idyllic, Eden-like setting is ruined by mankind. And they're only children as well. So, they just come onto the island and mess everything up. And that sort of hints at the fact that, just like in the Bible, in the Garden of Eden, God gave Adam and Eve this perfect setting, but they messed it up. So there's the beginnings of understanding that from the characters in this chapter. There's a symbol as well, this foreshadowing. Foreshadowing is where something happens in the book that hints at something that's going to happen later. It's a literary device that's used by writers for a number of reasons, but primarily to sort of make the reader, or the audience if it's a play, aware, look, this is my theme, and I'm going to repeat it, and I'm going to hint at it happening, and it may even happen more than once, so that you really get the idea. And the idea is that the civilized world they've come from, which is, a world of rules and regulations, is slipping away. They're becoming animalistic and barbaric. And of course we see that when Ralph talks about the conch, and he says this, and that's a conch on the screen, by the way. If I blow the conch and they don't come back, we've had it. We shan't keep the fire going. We'll be like animals. We'll never be rescued. And animals is so important here. This idea of, what makes a human different to an animal? And I went through that in a lot of detail in the last video, a lot of ideas. But, all of the characters are aware that, there's a fine line between, humanity and animalistic, barbaric behaviour. And again, everything's on this downward spiral, as it's sort of all coming towards something really bad about to happen. If you found this video useful, please give it a thumbs up and do subscribe to the channel. And I do have a question for you, which is this. Please put your answer to this question in the comments section. If you were stranded on a desert island with your friends, what do you think might go wrong, and what would be the best bit about that? So what would you love about being stranded on a desert island, but what do you think would be the first thing to go wrong? Put your comments in the comments section. I'd really be interested to know what you think.